Hi guys, this is Larissa and Yoga Life Balance with you today. We are going to work on our hips, hip flexors and low back. This area, the most problematic area apart from shoulders. So 45 minutes of your life, you will invest into your back and your hip flexors. And I can guarantee you, after we finish this session, you will feel much more better. By the way, if you don't have 45 minutes, you can do 5, 10, 15. You can pick up what's really working good for you. Are you okay to do this? Let's crack on then. So you push your knee closer to your chest and we start rotating our knee 5 times to the left side, so clockwise. So 1, don't speed up. Feel how you're stretching, opening your hip. 3, 4, and 5, and we're changing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keep yourself down on the floor, bend your knee, and crossing over. Keep knee on the floor. Hand is keeping your knee on the floor. Left hand up, and you're trying to place your left hand at the level of your left shoulder. Look to the back. So the more you push your left hip forward, the deeper the stretch is. And you push your shoulder down, keeping your knee down on the floor. With each exhalation, you're relaxing your muscles and you're trying to let it go. And feel the stretch. As soon as you feel the stretch, it doesn't matter whether your hand on the floor, maybe in the air, you just push it down. Slowly bring yourself back to the center. Left leg stretched, and bend your right knee and push closer to your chest. Relax and push again. Relax and push. Rotating right knee clockwise 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You may hear clicking noise. It's not your hip, it's your muscles around your hip flexors. So change direction. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crossing over, keep your knee on the floor. Place your left hand on your right knee. Stretch your right hand and place your right hand at the level of your right shoulder. If your hand is not on the floor, it's okay. As soon as you keep your knee down on the floor, you can just push your right hip slightly forward with your hand. And the hand is trying to reach the floor, but you're just pushing shoulder more down to the floor and pushing knee down to the floor. Feel the stretch. You may keep your elbow down on the floor or trying to keep your elbow on the floor. Slowly bring yourself back to the center. Happy baby position. You grab your right leg and you push your right knee down to the floor, and you're trying to keep your left hand on your left hip and just slowly moving down, pushing it down to the floor, and again and again. Changing sides. Right hand on your right hip, left hand grabbing your left sole of the foot, and you push your left knee down to the floor a few times. Your leg can be somewhere here. If it's still difficult for you, you can grab your shin or your ankle. Maybe you need to wrap around the stroke around the sole of the foot. So you can continue stretching your legs one by one. Maybe you can grab soles of your feet and you push your knees down to the floor and push it. Feel the stretch in your groin area, in your hips, hip flexors. This is what we are working today, hip flexors and lower back. Brilliant. Right leg placed down on the floor, left knee bend, and you place it across. Move away your left knee, move from yourself. Yeah, and if it's enough, this stretch, you're staying where you are, continue stretching. If you can, you grab your right thigh and pushing closer to your chest. Try to keep your head down the floor, but if you're moving up, it's okay. Sometimes we have really difficult stretching on your hamstrings and your low back muscles. So just stretching, trying to keep your head down on the floor. Changing legs, left leg down, right knee bend, and you place it across, pushing your right knee away from you. Push away, and if you feel this stretch is enough, you're not moving anywhere further. If you can, you grab your left thigh and pushing closer to your chest, maybe your knee. If you feel like stretching your left leg, you can. Yes, be careful. As soon as you feel the stretch, this is important. Just try to hold the stretch. We're not rushing, we're stretching, we feel the stretch. Okay, legs down on the floor. You're crossing legs. Hands can be placed in the crucifix position or cactus position. And I cross my legs, wrap them around. Move to the right side. Move to the right side, stretch your left hand. Right hand is keeping maybe your knee on the floor. And you place your elbow down, stretching your leg, hand in the crucifix position. Feel the twist in your left hip flexors is stretching here. Diagonal stretch on your back. Yeah. Keep your legs crossed and move to the other side. Keep your hand down on your knee, right hand up and stretch, and look to the side. Move back to the center, cross legs, so my right now on the top of my left. Move to the left side, feel this twist and stretch. We're not rushing, we're feeling a nice twist in your lower back. The magic of this stretch is, it looks like you're doing nothing, but you feel a deep, 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 deep stretch in your back. And then roll to the other side. Keep your knee on the floor if you can, left hand stretch, and you're trying to place your hand or elbow down, look to the back, and push your shoulder and elbow down to the floor. Feel this deep stretch and twist in your lower back and your hip flexors. Slowly bring yourself back on the mat. Hands down on the floor. You're trying to grab your ankles and place them as close as you can, closer to your hips. I'm trying to keep soles of my feet parallel to each other. Hands down on the floor, engaging your kneecaps, thighs, and hips, and you push it up. If you want, you can start moving your hips up and down. So extra twist in your lower back and your hip flexors. Move it up and down, move it, hold it, feel it. Vertebra by vertebra, bring yourself down on the floor. Bend your knees and give yourself a hug. Try to rock clockwise and anti-clockwise. But try to rock backward and forward in your back. Sometimes it's too difficult, your back is flat. Then you just roll through the right side. So I roll on my back 3 times, backward and forward. Maybe you can touch the floor with your legs above your head. Maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to roll and bring yourself in front of the mat. Trying to sit into squat position. If it's too much, hands down on the floor and you're just moving hips from side to side. Be careful with your knees. Knees may be sore, so then you just need to be aware of what you're doing. So pushing elbows into your thighs. Try to sit into squat position. This is one of the best options when you have low back pain to release it. So try to sit it, to hold this position. We're trying to concentrate on holding positions and asanas today rather than just jumping from one to another. And feel the stretch. As soon as you feel the stretch, you're already doing a lot. And I'm trying to push my elbows further into my thighs and holding. Place hands down on the floor and start moving your hips just from side to side. You may are somewhere here, so your hips are somewhere quite high. It's fine. As soon as you start moving your hips, rotating them from side to side. And try to move away your legs wider and wider, moving from side to side. Don't do it fast. Do it nice, slow movements. Feel a nice deep stretch. Don't rush. Don't rush, just feel the nice deep stretch. I move one hand under my leg, another is in front. So for me, it's more comfortable and stable position. I'm trying to keep sole of the foot on the floor, but if it's too much for you, keep on your toes and move to another side. I'm trying to push my hip down to the floor. So feel the stretch in your hips. If it's too much, you're moving high, but you're trying to move your hips as low as you can. Eventually, you're placing elbows into your thighs and move from side to side. Too much, if it's too much, you're skipping, you're not doing it. Brilliant. And slowly start bringing yourself up. Yeah. Simple things like rotating our hips. It's really working very well. You can keep your hand on the wall, or you may need to have a chair and support yourself. So we're moving our right knee up as close as you can to your chest. Open it to the right side. Try to touch the floor. Move up and rotate to the back. So we're trying to open hip to the right side. Let's do it again. Move up. You touch, do slowly. Slow movements are harder, to be fair, to do a little bit. Fast is fast. You're not holding the balance. You're not opening a lot on your stretches. And last one on this side. Great. And we start sitting down into squat as low as you can. If squat is too much, you're pushing elbows into your thighs. If you can't, you're sitting in the squat. When I sit in the squat, I'm trying to move my legs wider every time and move from side to side. And feel a deep, deep, deep stretch in my groin area already. Slowly bring yourself up. We're moving our rotating left knee to the side. So I'm all moving up. You can hold the wall or chair if you want to and move to the back. Feel opening your hip stretch. That's 2 and 3. Slow movements, but really meaningful movements. And last one. And you're sitting down, either pushing elbows into thighs or into squat position, trying to move from side to side. Slowly bring yourself up. You need to hold the wall or maybe the chair, placing hand on the chair. I bend my left knee and slowly start moving my right knee up. Hold the balance. Grab ankle and place it across. Hands on my hips, or maybe one hand on the chair. Rotate shoulder blades up and back. And you're trying to sit in an imaginary chair. So it's a really already deep stretch. You don't need to do anything else if you feel it's enough. If you can, hands, you bring it into Namaste. If you can, you slowly start releasing your hands, maybe touching the floor, maybe not. And I'm trying to move my right knee slightly to the back and holding here. So I concentrate on my hip. I'm not going to into deep forward bend yet. So I'm pushing right knee to the back only. Bend your knee and slowly start bringing yourself up. Moving up is harder than going down. You have to engage your core. Shake your hands, shake your legs, put it on the other side. So you move your left knee up. You're grabbing your ankles, bend your right knee and place it across. Concentrate on the spot in front of you, keep the balance or hold the chair or wall and you're trying to sit on the imaginary chair. And if it's enough for you, you're staying here, you feel the stretch, good for you, don't go any further. If you can, you're placing hands into Namaste and you may be trying to touch the floor, trying maybe to stretch your right leg, you don't have to, and I'm trying to push my left knee to the back, further stretch. This is what I'm interested. I'm trying to go further into stretch, not into forward bend yet. And slowly bringing yourself up. Nice, wonderful. We'll go down on the floor into flat tabletop position. Let's warm up our spine. Pushing into your toes, knees with below your hips, hands below your shoulders. Move your vertebrae up high and push, 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 push the ceiling. Move your stomach down, squeezing shoulder blades in the back. Exhale, pushing your vertebrae up. Moving your stomach down. You move your right knee up and we start rotating your knee clockwise 5 times 5. 4, 3, 2, And one, changing direction. If it's too much on your left knee, have a support, blanket or pillow or anything. 4 and 5. Push your right leg into your toes and stretch your shins. Really nice stretch for your shins. Move your right leg across, move your hands forward, and try to move your hands closer to your left leg. It's optional. You can stay here and you just can push your hip to the left side. Bring your right knee down to the floor, opening your knees wide. Get into child position. I'm trying to keep my hips on my heels as low as I can. Be careful, and you're just stretching through your hands. If you want to go further, moving on your fingers, forehead, chin, and chest is trying to get down to the floor. And you try to remember to push your hips down to your heels. So you're working on your hips here. So just holding this position, you're already stretching your hips and working on your lower back. Move into your hands, right knee down to the floor, left knee up, and we're rotating it 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Changing direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Push your left leg to the back. Push your heel down to the floor, stretching your shin. And you can hold it or you can release and push it again. I move across my left leg to the right side, hands moved forward, and I move to the right side, closer to my leg. Forehead goes down. Try to move my heel away. Feel the stretch and twist on the sides, on my hips. Slowly bring yourself up. Push your toes into the floor. Extended puppy child position. So hands moved forward. You can hold yourself here. Maybe you can move in your fingers and move your forehead down on the floor. I'm trying to open my shoulders into sides, trying to move my forehead and chin down as low as I can. Slowly bring yourself up. We're getting into lunge. Be careful on your kneecaps, protect them. Have an extra layer of the mat or maybe a fleece or whatever. So bend your right knee and step, bring your right leg in front of the mat. And you start moving forward on your hands. Hands on both sides of your right leg. And you push it to the back. You try to keep my stomach on my thigh. And then I'm trying to move my right leg every time a little bit forward on the mat, getting into deeper lunge. Be careful and move it back again. Rather than just jumping, we're trying to hold positions today. I'm trying to reach the maximum of my lunge now, placing hands on my hips and push it further down. I'm not rushing. I'm trying to reach the maximum stretch on my hips today and holding. Hands down on the floor, forward bend. And let's do it again. So I'm trying to move my right leg a little bit further. Be careful how far you are ready to go. Pushing left hip forward, right back. Pushing hips down, walking on them. Hands down on the floor, forward bend. Changing legs, right knee down on the floor, left in front of the mat. So first lunge is quite an easy one. Be careful in your right kneecap. So I'm trying to sit down. Place hands on both sides of your left leg and stretch into deep forward bend. Just notice the difference into two sides. There will be difference. And start bending your knee and move forward again. I'm moving my left leg forward little by little every time. And stretch, keep stomach on your thigh. Trying to move my leg a little bit forward again, tiny little bit, and push forward. And stretch. Last one. and push my hip left to the back, right forward, and sinking, springing on my hips, trying to go further down. Be careful. Forward bend. Child position, opening your knees wide. Push hips down on your heels. Stretch, look forward. If you can, move your hands to the right side. Deep forward bend. When you're moving to the right side, your hips are slightly moving up. Push them down. Push them down. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. To the center, moving to the left side. And push your hips again down to your heels, concentrating on your hips only. Slowly bring yourself back to the center. We're going to sit in the cross-leg sitting position. Cross-leg sitting position is one of the best for you to open your hips all the time. So during the day, if you can, try to sit in your cross-leg sitting position. If you sit in the chair, you maybe want to move one leg just above another one and hold and stay here. So we are crossing, stretching our right leg and left leg just placed across. It's not a half lotus, so your left leg above your right knee. And I like having a support behind my back. So you can use the cushion or the wall. Simple thing, what I'm doing, I'm just pushing my left knee slightly down. Feel the stretch. Left side, your glute is pushed down. And just slightly pushing down your left knee. If it's enough for your waist, you feel the stretch, don't worry about this. You don't need to go any further, right? If you want to go further, what I'm doing, I'm start bending my right knee, placing hands under my knee, and I move it closer. Maybe it's too much for you, then you don't do obviously this. But I'm trying to hold this position, moving knee slightly down, a right knee trying to move every time closer to my chest. It's quite intense, quite advanced. Be careful. Your leg can be just placed down on the floor. Okay. We're opening legs wide, legs to the sides. If it's too much for you, you can bend your knees. You can sit in the block, on the cushion, on the book, yeah, and just hold yourself here. You need to find the most comfortable position for you. I'm trying to open legs quite wide, placing hands on my ankles, rotate shoulder blades up and back, trying to keep my chest down on the floor. But you can't place hands on your hips, and you just start rolling backward and forward. Some people are saying they don't feel anything whatsoever. That's fine. We're all different. The hips are the most difficult area to stretch. We're very, very tight through our hip flexors usually. You can place hands maybe on your shins, maybe on your toes, maybe you can reach the floor. I'm trying to place my chest down on the floor, stretching, holding here. So what you need to do is you're inhaling, exhaling, and just then you lean forward. It may be tiny little movement. Now you stretch your left leg, you bend your right knee, move it closer to yourself and place it across so your right leg just above your left knee. And I push my back into the wall so I have a better, nice support. I'm not engaging muscles in my back by doing this. And I place my right hand down on my right knee and push it a little bit further. If it's too much, you're sitting just in the cross-leg sitting position. If you can, you're moving your hands under your left knee and you're trying to move it closer to yourself. Yeah, and I'm still pushing my right knee away. Maybe too much, then you place your left leg down to the floor. Just feel this stretch. Feel it, just feel it. You don't need to do anything. You're trying to relax muscles and let it grow. It's quite hard, quite difficult. Stretching your left leg, bring soles of your feet together. Try to roll from side to side, rock on your bottom. Maybe you can do clockwise rotation and anti-clockwise rotation. If it's too much, just keep your legs crossed. Just sitting with your cross-leg sitting position is fine. I'm trying to move now the soles of my feet as close as I can. As close as I can. Placing hands on my knees, and I'm trying to push them down. You can do it one by one or two together. I'm trying to get into full butterfly stretch. For some of you, it's super easy. For some of you, it's extremely difficult. So I'm trying to open my groin area, pushing hands down onto my knees. Bring soles of your foot together, our legs into diamond position. Clasp your hands and select your fingers. Look forward now, squeeze your shoulder blades in the back. You're pushing elbows into your shins. Maybe you're sliding down, trying to reach the floor and trying to reach the toes with your forehead, pushing elbows down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself up. Nice, let's do it again. Look forward, chest push forward, push elbows into your shins and slowly move forward, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Stretch your right leg, left knee bend, and you push it into your right thigh, the sole of the foot. Try to open your knee to the side. Stretching up, and you lean forward. Hands can be placed on both sides of your right leg. Squeezing shoulder blades on the back, and you slide forward with your hands. Maybe you can grab sole of the foot and holding here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Left leg stretched and right knee bent. And push sole of the foot into your left thigh. I'm trying to keep my right knee down on the floor, but if it's too much, just obviously sit into the most comfortable position, stretching up, hands placed on both sides of your left leg. You're trying to maybe moving hands forward, pushing elbows down. Maybe you can grab sole of your foot and move your head down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Open your legs wide again. Have a block, sit block if you need to. Knees can be bent. Every time I'm trying to open my legs a little bit wider when I go into this position. Now let's stretch our shoulder blades as well, squeezing shoulder blades in the back, and you slowly start leaning forward and move up and go down. We're going to do it 5 times. So we've done 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can place hands on your hips and carry on just moving forward slightly. Nice, slow movements. Maybe hands placed on your ankles and your shins. If you do rotate your shoulder blades up to the back and squeeze them, start sliding your hands down. Either maybe you can grab your toes, maybe hands placed down on the floor, and you're trying to place your chest down on the floor. If it's not possible, you're just rolling slightly backward and forward. This is what you do. It's fine. Soon you feel a stretch in your groin area. So move your legs forward, right leg stretched, left knee bend. Let's try to bring our leg into half lotus. If it doesn't work, just simple push into the left thigh, into right thigh. So you start rotating, your leg, moving closer to yourself 3 times. Then you place your leg between your 2 elbows, sole of the foot pushed into my right elbow. And I start moving and opening my leg from side to side. This is a really nice deep stretch. If you can hold it, you can move it from side to side. It's really great. Now the next step, I'm trying to touch my forehead, nose, chin, and chest, eventually placing into half lotus. If it doesn't happen, push into your right thigh. Stretch first. You're lengthening up. Lean forward. Hands placed on both sides of your right leg, toes pointed to the ceiling. You're trying to slide down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. You can stay in this position, or maybe you can start again bending your right knee and moving hands under your knee and moving a little bit closer and closer and closer and closer to your chest. So maybe you sit here. Maybe you cannot. Yeah, but it's a really deep stretch. So now releasing your right leg and left leg stretched. Bend your right knee, grab your sole of the foot, and you're trying to move it closer to your chest. So try to do it a few times. Yeah. And then you're trying to place your leg between your 2 elbows and move your hip to the back, move your knee to the back. So 3, 4, and 5. Now the next step, I'm trying to touch my forehead, nose, chin, and chest, trying to move closer my leg towards to my body, eventually placing into half lotus. If it doesn't work, just pushing to your left thigh. Toes on your left leg pointed to the ceiling. You stretch up, place hands along with your left leg. Elbows and hands moving forward. You're trying to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Move hands under the left knee and start bending it up and moving closer to yourself. Find the difference between your two legs. There will be always a difference. So in this case, when I lean towards the wall, it's really working well. Yeah, I'm not using muscles on my back. Slowly start unraveling, opening your legs wide again. The last one, last time. Pushing hips forward, placing hands on your shins, rotate your shoulder blades up and back. Now interlate your fingers on the back, your hands on the back. Try to move them from side to side and just lean forward. Lean a few times. Yeah. And I'm trying to place my chest down on the floor with my hands being behind my back. If it's not happening today, it's fine. You don't have to do this. You're just trying to hold yourself in the most comfortable position. And release your hands. Stretch your both legs. Bend your knees. Keep your stomach on your thighs. Grab sides of your leg and start walking forward on the mat, or maybe just sliding forward. When you feel if it's too much, you look forward, squeezing shoulder blades on the back, and then try to stretch only one of your legs. And you're trying to move your head down. Bend your both knees, and then the left leg is going to be stretched. You're trying to move down. And stretch them one by one or two together. If you feel you're ready, you move into deep forward bend, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Nice. Well done. A lot of hips today. Brilliant. Okay, we're lying down on the floor. Give yourself a hug and just rock from side to side. Place your right leg down on the floor. Bend your left knee and place it across. I can move into half lotus. Maybe your leg is here. If it's here, just push it away from you. Push it away. And what we're trying to do is we move to the right side. And I'm trying to place my left knee down to the floor as low as possible. If it's too much, you're just holding yourself up here. So I'm trying to move my left knee down to the floor, opening hip flexors. Moving back, left leg down to the floor, right knee bend, place it across, either just below your left knee or maybe half lotus. Now you're placing your left leg down to the left side, and I'm trying to place my right knee down as low as possible, as low as it goes. Slowly start bringing yourself back. Bend your knees, give yourself a hug and rock from side to side. Place the soles of your feet down on the floor, hands down on the floor. We're moving into bridge, pushing your hips up. If you can't, bring your elbows closer to each other and place your hands under your hips and move them higher. Stretching, pushing up, moving hips up, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, vertebra by vertebra, bring yourself down on the floor, give yourself a hug and just rock from side to side. Bring hands into crucifix position or elbows just down on the floor, shin parallel to the floor, and you move to the left side. And you can stay here. If you can, you're pushing your right hip forward so your both knees are leveled up. Yeah, I keep my left hand on my right knee, right hand stretched, and I'm trying to place my hand into crucifix position or try to place my elbow down to the floor, look to the right side, push right hip forward, hold this stretch, hold this twist, don't hold your breath. With each inhalation, you're moving your right knee slightly forward and you're trying to go into deepest twist and stretch. It's all about your low back, your back, every single muscle is twisted here and stretched. Move up to the center. Keep your shins parallel to the floor and move them to the right side. Push your left knee forward again. You can keep your right hand on your left knee, left hand up and stretched, and you're trying to place your hand or elbow down to the floor. At the same time, left hip is moving back, so push it forward again. And push your left shoulder down on the floor and elbows trying to reach the floor, and left hip you're pushing forward. Feel this deep stretch and twist in your back. Slowly bring yourself back to the center. Left leg stretched, right knee bent. You move your head closer to your knee and then place it down on the floor. Try to stretch your right leg. You can grab your shin and just slowly moving forward. Yeah, you're moving forward your shin. If you can, you grab your toe and moving forward a few times. If it's too much, left sole of the foot down on the floor. And you're just holding your left hand on your left hip and pushing your right leg forward. This is all you're doing, you're pushing forward. If you can hold and feel the deep stretch into your hamstrings. Let's change the legs. So you can keep your right leg down on the floor, on the sole of the foot. You're trying to stretch your left leg, grab your shin and push it nicely, softly closer to yourself. To be fair, I already feel a stretch. I don't have to grab my toes, but if you want, you can. Right hand placed on your right hip, you're pushing both hips down on the floor. Try to keep your both hips on the floor and moving toes closer to your leg. This is all you do. You're trying to fix yourself into the very lowest point and then relax. Try to move closer, hold it, and relax. Bring soles of your feet together, opening your knees wide. Would like you to engage all the muscles. Inhale, exhale, and just relax them. Try not to think about anything. Concentrate only on your breathing and feel how your groins are opening up and knees are going down. Only the gravity is doing the job. If you want to continue working on your hip flexors, you can try to implement this position into your everyday routine when you woke up and maybe before you go to bed or when you just want to lie down and relax. Gravity will be pushing hips down on the floor. If you want, you can use two cushions and push them on your knees, place them on your knees. So extra weight will be a little bit pushing your knees down on the floor. Bring your knees up and start stretching up. Bring yourself into corpse position. You can just lie here and relax and stay here for as long as you need to. Analyze and just see how your groins and your back and your hip flexors are feeling now. I'm sure they're relaxed now. Concentrate on the right side of the body, on your toes, sole of your foot, heel, shin, knee, thigh, and hip. Left side, toes, sole of your foot, heel, shin, knee, thigh, and hip. Right leg fingers, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Left hand fingers, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Concentrate on the back, your hips, lower back, shoulders, and the front of the body, pelvis floor, navel, chest, throat, chin, nose, forehead, and the top of the head. And start rotating your wrists and your ankles clockwise, anti-clockwise. Bring your hands up and above your head. Stretch your hands and legs. Reach the opposite walls. Stretch your right hand and left leg, diagonal stretch, left hand and right leg. Bend your knees, give yourself a hug, rock from side to side. Bring yourself in front of the mat into the most comfortable cross-leg sitting position. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel better in your hip and lower back area. Namaste.